When one investigation, it can ruin reputations, destroy fortunes, and properties. Yeah, y'all. So we're gonna get into it here. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share your girl out. Now, for many athletes, retirement is supposed to be the beginning of a new chapter, a time to enjoy rewards of sacrifice, the houses, the investments, the businesses, the legacy. But sometimes a single investigation can cast a shadow over everything a person has spent a lifetime building. So today, y'all, we're going to talk about former NFL player Michael Pennell. Yeah, Jr. He finds himself at the center, okay, of an international investigation that is generating headlines, raising questions, and placing intense scrutiny, okay, on his past connections and business dealings. And while no criminal charges have been announced, Purnell has denied wrongdoings. Okay. Now, the reality is that investigations of this magnitude can affect far more than a person's reputation. They can impact finances, real estate, business relationships, future opportunities, and ultimately a person's livelihood. Think about it. An NFL career, it doesn't last forever. Mm-mm. Many professional athletes, they spend years planning for life after sports. They invest in property, they build companies, they create partnerships, they establish brands that can continue generating income long after the final game is played. But when a person name becomes connected to a high profile investigation, whether justified or not, uh, uncertainly, a lot of things do happen after that, right? Now, potential business partners, they may hesitate. Investors may become cautious. Sponsors may choose to distance themselves until more facts are known. And the public, well, y'all, we know how the public is. Once the public get a hold of something, baby, they'll burn it down to the ground. We already said once the public, the internet, social media gets a hold of an issue, investigation, okay, something very controversial here, it is hard to untangle yourself from it. You got to step in front of it and you got to be prepared for what comes next. Now, the public, they may begin asking questions before investigators have reached conclusions, right? Okay, they will already start investigating it before any facts come out, before anyone is proven guilty, right? Okay, the public is going to start asking questions. Okay, who done it, why they did it, where it happened, right? People are already going to start drawing conclusions. In today's digital world, that social media world, right? Perception can sometimes move faster than the legal process itself. Okay, how many times have we seen where issue or a controversial topic has happened here in social media, right? The public has already formed their opinion. We've seen that with the Diddy trial, right? We've seen that with the Diddy allegations, okay? Before anything went to court, the public, okay, opinion had already formed their opinion on him, whether they were for him or against him, but the public had already had their stance. And in this case, okay, attention has focused on the property in the Dominican Republic that Pinnell once owned. Okay, so he owned a piece of property in Dominican Republic, right? And there's an investigation that's going on right now. Real estate is often viewed as one of the most stable forms of wealth, right? Okay, he's had his time in the NFL. He's worked diligently here, and he was able to buy him a nice piece of beautiful tropical paradise out in the Dominican Republic, right? However, but when property becomes connected to an active homicide investigation, that asset can suddenly become the focus of legal, media, and public scrutiny. Okay. Questions arise. Okay. Will that property retain its value? Do you want to go to a property that had a possible homicide connected to? That's not very vacation like. I don't know if I want to go do an Airbnb at a property that had a a homicide investigation on it, right? Not very appealing. Could future transactions become more complicated? Will potential buyers or investors avoid becoming involved? Okay. If the property is subject to investigation of the homicide investigation, right? Are you going to have investors want to come and really promote your real estate ventures? No, not really. I don't want to be associated with the homicide investigation, right? Mm-mm. Okay. Do they want to be involved? No, they really don't, right? It's too complicated. We don't know which way it's going to go, right? We don't want the public to say, oh, that company associated with this homicide. How could they? How could they side with this homicide investigation? You don't want to be on the side of the wrong way on that, right? You don't want to be entangled into it. Even if no wrongdoing is ultimately established, the association alone can create challenges that may take years and years and years to overcome. Then there's the issue of reputation. Okay, in professional sports, reputation is more than public image, right? Okay, so if he's got a reputation of being a good guy, a stand-up guy, right? Okay, someone who has good character, to be associated with a homicide investigation that doesn't show who he was as a NFL player. It doesn't show who he was as a professional athlete, a good judge of character, right? It's the exact opposite. It can be a financial reset, right? He may have to let go of that property. He may have to throw away all the money that he's invested into that property, or where he's going to be making an Airbnb, a hotel, whatever real estate ventures he may have wanted, right? It could be a huge financial loss if he has to, right, not be able to continue to hold on to that property. Former athletes often earn income through appearances, endorsements, consultant opportunities, media works, speaking engagement, and business ventures, right? Okay, and these opportunities frequently depend on trust. If you're connected to a homicide investigation, can I trust you? Right? You have a poor judge of character, right? That's the public. Social media is already judging you. Can we trust you? Why are you connected to a homicide investigation? Lots of questions there. Now, when those questions do emerge, regardless of the eventual outcome, companies and organizations often become cautious, right? They put the brakes on putting their money into a lot of ventures, a lot of opportunities, right? And they don't want to be associated with negative press, right? Not because guilt has been proven, not at all. Not because uncertainty creates risk, and risk can affect money, right? Okay, can I do this deal? Is it too risky? It can affect partnerships. Can we go hand in hand on this business deal, right? Okay, is this homicide investigation going to take money? Is it going to tank the deal? It can affect future earning potential. Absolutely, right? Like we stated, when you think about vacation, do you think about going somewhere that was attached to a homicide investigation? That doesn't sound very peaceful and very vacationy to me, right? Unlike traditional career professional, athletes often earn the majority of their lifetime income during a relatively short playing window, right? So they make the bulk of their money very quick, fast here, few years here. So they have to be strategic. They have to make sure that they're doing right with their money, because they only have a short period of time, okay, to make the most out of it. And protecting those earnings becomes essential, because they're out of the league. They're out of making that type of money here. They may make, a couple millions, but those making multi-million dollars, okay, doing what they love, those years are gone. And so they have to make the right financial decisions. And protecting investment becomes essential, right? Protecting long-term businesses and relationship becomes essential. Okay, that is why cases like this generate so much attention. Okay, because the impact extends beyond the courtroom, beyond the headlines, and beyond social media. Okay, it reaches into every area of a person's financial future. Meanwhile, it is important to remember that the investigation remains active. Authorities will continue to examine the circumstances surrounding the case. No criminal charges have been announced. Pinnell has denied having a relationship with the woman and has denied involvement in her passing. Right? His attorney has also stated that the evidence will clear him. Okay? Those are the facts that matter because investigations are designed to uncover facts, not assumptions. And until authorities reach conclusions, speculation should not be confused with proof. But regardless of whether investigation ultimately leads, one thing is cases like this, how quickly they will show how quickly a person's finances, real estate holdings, business interests, and public reputation can come under intense pressure when serious questions emerge. Now, for some people, the consequences are temporary. For others, the effects can last for years. Okay, and sometimes even after the headlines fade away, the financial and personal impact remains. As this story continues to develop, the world will not only be watching, okay, okay, not for just the answers itself, but the investigation, but also what does it mean for the future of a former NFL player whose life after football now faces unprecedented scrutiny. Yeah, y'all. I thought this was a good story to bring out to the forefront. We're going to be keeping our heads on this one here to see what's going to turn out. Like he stated here, there's a homicide investigation on his property. He originally stated that he did not know the young lady, but as the investigation pressed on, to come to find out they did have some type of relationship here. So we're gonna see where this goes. Was there foul play with him involved? Here it's very tragic. This young lady lost her life. So we're gonna stay abreast and see what's going on with this tragedy of this homicide investigation. All right, y'all. Well, again, my name is Tanya Marie here with Bullhorn for Life, where we want you to be unique, be different, but most importantly, just be you. Thank you so much for always coming on in the room and blessing the girl with your presence is greatly appreciated. Until next time, y'all. Ta ta for now.